Hi, equestrians. So, I am back with my two horses, and today I want to talk about the connection between thyroid conditions and your fear of riding your horse, or maybe even your fear of handling your horse. My name is Nicole Weber, and I help equestrians overcome their fear of riding. I'm a hypnotherapist and traumatherapist. I'm also an equine assisted mental health practitioner and a centered riding instructor. Let me start with, why do I think I can tell you about this? Well, I have suffered from an autoimmune disease. The name is Hashimoto, and it affects my thyroid. I've had this condition for 11 years now, and I'm not the only one in my family. It took me a couple of years until, my hormone levels got sorted out and I felt much better. But the thing is, what is very typical is that when you have a thyroid condition, that you get standard treatment, and that standard treatment is usually a dose of T4. Well, that's what needs to be substituted at first. So this is what most people who suffer from a thyroid condition will get when their thyroid is underperforming, and that is much more often the case than when it's overperforming and increasing your thyroid hormones. What typically happens is that your thyroid doesn't give enough thyroid hormones into your bloodstream and into your organs. And here's Snoopy, he wants to say hello. So you usually will end up getting a T4 replacement drug. There are different types of thyroid hormones, but two of them are well known, and that is T4 and T3. Usually you will get substituted with T4 because in many people what will happen is that within your body that T4 will also be used to create T3, another very important thyroid hormone. Problem is, in many people it doesn't work that way. There is something missing so that your body can produce T3 out of the T4 hormone. So the problem with thyroid conditions and fear is that the connection is like this. Hormones are vital for our psyche. You may know this in case you're a woman, when you go through your monthly cycle, that you may have ups and downs and mood swings, maybe a couple of days just prior to, your period. And the same thing happens when you have a thyroid condition. When there isn't sufficient levels of thyroid hormones within your bloodstream, what typically happens is that it will affect your psyche one way or another. And usually with fear and anxiety increasing, that happens when your thyroid is underperforming and you don't have enough thyroid hormones in your system. But there are other symptoms you might suffer from that are linked to thyroid problems. For instance, a lack of sleep, so you have trouble sleeping, or you need to sleep so much. You could have skin problems like dry skin. You have problems with your hair, for instance, like dry hair or breaking hair. You could have the problem that you get underweight or overweight. You could feel a lot of tension in your muscles. You could have problems moving. You could have pain in your muscles. There are so many different kinds of symptoms related to your thyroid condition. So, if you have a thyroid condition like Hashimoto's, you need to be very, very well considerate and careful that it is managed adequately. So if you have still any kinds of symptoms like mood swings, like fear, maybe even panic attacks, and you have a thyroid condition, that it can mean that it's not adequately managed and that you are maybe being underdosed. You could even be overdosed. When I said before that T4 is the standard treatment, and many people have a problem within their body that T4 doesn't get made into T3, there are also drugs that hold T3. So for instance, for me, I always say I got my life back once I was properly medicated with not even T4 but T3 as well, because the T3 levels are so important for your psyche and for your overall well-being. It is also very important for your overall health, like how are your muscles performing? Do you have any muscle knots? If they hurt a lot, that might be a symptom for you, a sign that it could be that you don't have a high enough level of T3 within your system. Typically, when a thyroid condition is being diagnosed, your doctor will only check your blood for TSH. That's the thyroid stimulating hormone, but that doesn't say anything about the thyroid hormone levels within your blood. Only the free T4 and the free T3 tell you anything about this. So what I urge you to do, if you have a thyroid condition of any kind and you still suffer from fear of riding or fear in any other areas of your life and have other symptoms as well, you should definitely see that the next time your doctor does some blood work, he or she doesn't only test for TSH level, but also FT4 and FT3. Of course, you need to be able to interpret those. Because typically what happens, and I see that every day in my practice, is that the physician says, oh, it's all in order. It's within norm levels, but the norm levels are so broad, and for many people, they only find themselves being very comfortable and healthy when they're in the upper range of those norm levels. So what you kind of need to do is educate yourself a bit about those hormone levels. And if you have any questions, you can get back to me and ask me, because I think after all those years having clients with thyroid conditions and working together with an endocrinologist, I know a bit or two about this stuff. So get back to me if you want to know more. And if you have fear of riding, and if that happened suddenly, go check out your thyroid hormones, because that might be an issue. Okay, take care. Bye-bye.